Leading up to the 2018 midterm elections, voter enthusiasm was at an all-time high. According to NPR, a 50-year record, 47% of eligible voters participated in the midterm elections. No small part of that was young people who have recently become eligible to vote.
In order to gain a better understanding of how media outlets influence young voters' interactions with and knowledge of politicians and ballot measures, we conducted a campus-wide survey at SLU, asking about the interactions with political advertisements, research websites, and third-party registration services.
88% of people who were surveyed voted in the midterm elections. We asked people about their experiences with ads on social media sites like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, the most popular of which being YouTube and Facebook.
Do I remember seeing any notable ads for politicians during the election season that caught my eye? There were a few, some on like the YouTube ads that you get before videos.
So I've seen a lot of signs up and around like advertising with candidates, watching videos on Hulu, you see a lot of the pre-roll ads. YouTube, you get a lot of the ads for political campaigns as well.
Facebook, yeah, mostly. I don't remember seeing them on YouTube, maybe, but Facebook was probably the most predominant place.
Most viewers did not necessarily interact with the ads, but most noted that the political advertisements they viewed came up in conversation later or influenced the research they did.
But I never really paid much attention to them. They always tended to say the same thing. It was usually one party slandering the candidate of another party.
I think to some degree, all ads subconsciously kind of have their play at manipulating voter turnout, right?
In my mind, these were always just very biased portrayals of any candidates. So while I did see these ads, I tended to not really pay attention to them.
About 81% of those who responded to our survey used websites to research candidates and ballot measures. Some of the more prominent third-party resources included Ballot Ready and Vote.org.
Some respondents also favored candidate-specific sites to better understand values and platforms.
So in the past, I always just looked up all the candidates individually, which was very tedious and kind of annoying. This time around was a bit more streamlined because I used Vote. Is it Vote for America? Or it's a third-party resource that allows you to look at all the issues that candidates support or don't support.
I did use mostly third-party websites. League of Women Voters is a really good site. Gives you info on the candidates and like unbiased opinions on the ballot measures and candidates.
The main website I used was Ballot Ready. I found it was super helpful because I could click on each of the offices that were up in the ballot, as well as click on the individual candidates and figure out what their stances were on a lot of issues that I cared about.
To some degree, I was relying on that to be accurate, and I didn't do any of my own research because I was confident in its ability to be accurate. And it's also easier, so that's a perk as well. It's better than using nothing.
Although we asked about absentee ballots, most students we interviewed or surveyed said they did not vote absentee, but rather participated in early voting or registered to vote in St. Louis.
So to vote absentee, I went to Vote.org, and they have a really good tool that like you can fill in a ballot and then you just print it off and send it in.
So realistically, I'm going to be hopefully an undergrad in St. Louis for the next 4 years, and then probably their med school after that, and then maybe even have a job here after that. Just considering I would be calling St. Louis home for the next at least 5 to 8 years of my life, I decided to actually register to vote here in St. Louis County. So I voted on that ballot in the BSC rather than do an absentee ballot. So that I think is an important thing that I've come to realize here in college, is that if I'm going to be the politically minded and socially minded person that I want to be, I not only have to look at the cultural viewpoint of things, but I do have to engage in that political sphere.
Young people are more empowered than ever to participate in meaningful political research, education, and conversation thanks to the plethora of social media and research sites at our disposal. Overall, we believe that media has had a positive impact on young voters' understanding of societal issues and on how we can participate in our democracy to make the world a better place.